contest, and he did an unbelievable job. He sold roughly $3,000 worth of Create 24/7 in one week. Absolutely blew it out. So we wanted him to join us today for a special webinar to talk about how exactly he did this, because there's a lot to this. There's a lot more than just, I sent out one email. There's a lot to this about how he built up true fans, how he built up an audience that wants to purchase. And we're going to get into it a little bit today so that you can take this knowledge and begin to profit on this in the future. So, Mark, first of all, thanks for joining us today.
No problem, mate. No problem at all.
All right, so I want to talk about before we even do this. You're pretty new to Masterclass and to Create. Like, I think you purchased within the past month.
Yeah. I've just purchased probably 2.5 weeks ago.
2.5 weeks ago, yeah. Can you tell us your story a little bit? What made you start? Like, I want to know your background. What made you start?
I thought we only had half an hour.
Oh, can you do this?
Right.
Can you
Okay.
tell us five in
I'll,
like 2 minutes? 2 minutes, yeah.
I'll give you the short version. Right. The short version is 17 years ago, I was working for IBM and Hewlett Packard. I was I was one of their troubleshooters. I was away from home for so long. I missed my daughter's birthdays. I missed her school plays. One day, we'd just come back from Spain, where I'd been racing motorcycles at Jerez, which is a racetrack. And I phoned my wife up when I was stuck in a traffic jam and said, "We're moving to Spain." And so with no plans whatsoever, we moved to Spain. I Googled then how to make money online. Literally, I am the one who did that. And then I built up online businesses for it. It wasn't an overnight success, trust me. It took a long time to get going, and I've had various different memberships down the years. I've built up my audience. I try to treat them right from the start. I've created over 50 courses. So I'm not just an affiliate, I'm a course creator.
Yeah.
On April the 18th this year, I was on a call with one of my clients, one of my coaching clients, and I had a brain hemorrhage, which wasn't ideal for him.
Wow.
Ended up in hospital for 10 days. During that time, I realized that every day I was making money and payments from affiliate marketing. So it really saved me there. I came out of hospital, started to recover. I had a stroke as well at the same time, so that didn't really help. Worked on recovering and decided to close down all my businesses. So all the courses I was selling, I've closed down over the last 6 months. I've still got a couple of Facebook groups going, but I'm closing them down. So the idea is 1st of January, everything will be closed down. I'll just be on Twitter. That's it, because it's so much more fun.
I agree with you.
Honestly,
Yeah.
people don't. I keep on telling people how enjoyable it is to just be able to say what you want and tweet stuff out and get into conversations and engage with people.
So most of
It's
so
sorry, I keep on
so
interrupting.
so most of your audience was built on. Where did you build your audience if you didn't build it on Twitter? See, I'm so involved in the Twitter
Yeah,
world.
so everywhere. So I mean, obviously, I've got courses. So people, affiliates sold some of my courses. A few affiliates. I had membership sites. So I basically built it from membership sites. So a little bit of paid advertising. People coming to membership sites. I've got people. In fact, some of them are in here now, who were with me 12 years ago, who were with me 6 years ago, who were with me 5 years ago. So they stick around. So I generally try and keep my email list, and this is going to shock a load of people, at around about 500 people.
Wow.
I don't believe in having a big list. I would much rather have a really small list, so I know exactly what I can sell to those people.
That's really interesting. So, like, do you get rid of people on your email list? Do you
Yeah,
like,
yeah. If people start to drift away and stuff like that, I'll give them a few reminders, and then I'll just cut the list. I'll just every 3 to 6 months, I will. Here's the secret: before you cut anyone off your list, get a download a CSV file and upload it to someone like Facebook, so you have them in a custom audience on Facebook in case you ever want to use Facebook. I haven't looked at Twitter advertising yet. If Twitter advertising allows you to do custom audiences, then I would do that. It just means that you never lose them. They're always within reach, but they're not on your list, taking up space and not listening to you. So generally speaking, doing that, my open rate on emails is around about 50% or just above.
okay, can you give us an idea about like what like I'm having a hard time trying to picture like what does it look like right now? Do you have like three Facebook groups, an email list of 500 people, and a lot of
So
people?
what I've got,
What's it
I've
look
got
like?
two Facebook groups that are going. One
Okay.
is a paid one where I've been teaching some basics of affiliate marketing for the last 6 months. It was basically follow me, was doing some affiliate marketing for 6 months. Here's like every month I give them a new different way of doing affiliate marketing. That's ending in December. I've got one which is my general dumping list where I've hardly posted in the last month, but I've posted out tips for simplifying your marketing because that's my thing. Simplify your marketing, make marketing easy. If marketing's easy, you're going to do it more often, and you're going to make more money. If it's difficult, you're not going to bother.
Okay, so real quick, I'm just gonna take a guess. Did you build the Facebook groups by directing your warm buyers to the Facebook page? Was that kind
Yeah.
of like the
So
call to action?
if someone comes on my list, right? Somewhere in the onboarding sequence, I will say to them, by the way, if you're interested, we have a Facebook group. Okay, so they can then join. The trouble with Facebook groups is beforehand you used to be able to reach everyone. Now you can't reach everyone. So I've had people on that in that Facebook group that I've like built up an audience with and a rapport with who don't see my messages because Facebook only shows it to 20 or 30% of people. Um, Facebook pages are even worse. Facebook pages are 10, 12% of people.
Yeah.
Even if you've paid for them to be on your page, if you've tried a like campaign, they will 10 or 12% of people, if you're lucky, will see them. So I was shocked when I came to Twitter and started messing around, and suddenly, more people than I was following was seeing my tweets. More people were were going to my profile than I had followers. I mean, that was that really screwed my mind for a bit.
Yeah, yes. Twitter is so effective. It's such an easy way to build an audience, and
That's the word, audience.
mhm.
Twitter is an audience. Facebook's an audience, except it's a really hard audience. It's like playing a comedy gig at one of the hardest theatres in the world. In the UK, that would be Glasgow. Um, it's just so Facebook is so difficult, and you get so much negativity and so many people commenting below with rubbish and negative and whatever. On Twitter, almost everything's positive.
All right. Well, you may change your mind in 6 months. I'll tell you about that. But
It can never be as bad as Facebook.
all right. We'll do a follow up interview with you. But my question is this though. This is the part I'm trying to.
Yeah.
You've done well on Facebook already. Why close operations? In fact, you have me like even thinking like maybe I should have. In fact, honestly, I actually have been joining more Facebook groups right now with my personal Facebook account to kind of get a vibe for like what's going in on these Facebook groups because I feel like there's ways to, and I'm not an expert in this, okay? It's totally out of my realm, but I feel like there's really great ways to monetize. Why would you shut them down? Like to me, if it's working, why not just keep it going?
Oh, it's so honestly, it's so negative. I, even in the last 10 days, right? So I've hardly gone to Facebook the last 10 days. My happiness levels and my mental health has improved 100% because you go into Facebook. even if you go to a group, you still see the news feed. You still see all the rubbish that people are posting, and it's just so negative. It's such a negative vibe, and it there's doing business, right? And there's doing business and having fun and enjoying it,
Yeah.
and that's having my near-death experience earlier in the year taught me that having fun and enjoying business at the same time is more important than making money.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you the truth, man. And you know what? You actually wind up making more money when you think like this. That's
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
and that I'm not. I mean, I'll share this. I haven't really, but I had some kind of life changing event similar to what you had right before I started my account, and it kind of gave me the inspiration to do it. And I literally, I know exactly how you feel about how you aren't going to see. This is the thing I don't get, and this is like a complete aside, Mark. I get like a lot of the younger people, like they're hungry and they want to do these things. They're going to jump through certain hoops. But me personally, and I know Steve feels the same. I know Steve feels the same. I'm going to let him do some questions in a second. But it's like the point of being an entrepreneur is to be your own boss, right? And I think you get to a
Yeah.
certain age where you're just like, I'm going to do the things I enjoy. I enjoy the masterclass community. I enjoy writing Create 24/7 modules and selling it. I enjoy posting beautiful paintings on my timeline. That is stuff that I enjoy. I could easily go out there, create high ticket offers, and just smash it and do all this extra work if I wanted to. But I don't feel like doing that. I want to do what I want to do, Mark, and I totally appreciate what you're saying. Is that at some point the time that you have on planet Earth is more important than thinking that you got to just grind. Steve, you got any questions for Mark? This is a really interesting interview.
Yeah, Mark. So you said that you have a list of about 500 people. Is that correct? Did I understand that correctly?
Yep, 500.
Okay, so
when I did this email, I
go
only
ahead.
emailed 300 of them though.
Okay, so the email that you sent that converted very highly was sent to less than 500 people.
Yeah, it went to 300.
It went to 300.
Yeah. As well as the email, there was also in one of my memberships, my inner circle, I put it on there and I really pushed it hard in there simply because they're watching me build my Twitter account and I'm trying to get them to come along and play along with me. In fact, some of them,
Sure.
a lot of the new people have joined here in the last week or so are from my inner circle type thing. So I can see a few of them spying on me now.
So I would imagine the majority of the people listening are either interested in starting an email list and making money from it, or already have an email list, might actually have more people on their list than you do,
Yeah.
but they're not making nearly as much money as you are.
Right.
So my question is, what is the secret? Is it just a highly curated, highly segmented email list of email subscribers that you know are going to buy from you, or maybe it's the wording of your email that you have developed over time that you just know what works, or maybe it's something different?
Right. So let me try and explain this. But there's two things I can talk about here. One is the way you should do it, and one is the way that I actually had to do this because I was a week behind. We were basically I got my affiliate links just before Black Friday. Okay, because a certain person in here said, "Go and read the course before you get your affiliate link." So I was a week behind. And
Well, you gotta take the course to sell
I can't believe how much money he left on the table there. Right, so what I would normally do, okay, so I know there's a promotion coming up next week. I would say something like, "Hey guys, I am doing a promotion next week. Here are some of the results I've had. If you're interested, just click this link." Right, so they immediately hold their hands up and say, "Yeah, I'm interested," and then I would market it to them. Now, the other people who hadn't put their hands up, they would get another email, separate email saying, "By the way, check this out. It's really good. I highly recommend it." Okay, like you saw, if you saw the email, I built a little bit of a story about what I was doing. So you only do the marketing to that small segment of people who are interested. So the result of that is not everybody gets hammered with promotions. And that's what will kill you, anyone's affiliate business, hammering promotion after promotion after promotion. I've seen it in the last week on Twitter. There are certain people out there, every second or third tweet is buy this, buy this, buy this, buy this. Okay. They may make $100 this week. They may have made 500 over Black Friday. They will never, ever, ever be able to do a $10,000 promo. It won't work. So, for example, by getting people to hold their hands up, you can get a load of very small segmented lists. So I had a list of 80 people. So if you imagine this, I was in Mexico. I was at my daughter's wedding. It was the day after. I was sat on the beach at about 8 o'clock one morning, drinking a coffee, looking at the gorgeous Caribbean with my laptop, and it had 3 megabytes Wi-Fi on the beach, which was great. I wrote an email to a segment of 80 people who I knew were interested in a certain product that I had. And I sent that out to 80 people. Closed my laptop, came down the next day, opened it up, and I'd done $10,000. So I had a conversion rate of 42%. So almost of those 80 people, almost 40 bought it. And that was simply because I was emailing people who I knew were interested, so I didn't have to do the hard sell. I can just lay out the facts. This is what it is. This is what you're getting. If you're interested, here's the link. Okay, no big sales pages, nothing like that, just a link. And it makes marketing easy. So, I mean, if I can get one thing across today, it's work out a way of segmenting your audience. Show your audience what you are doing. Don't sell the product. I didn't tell anybody that Create 24/7 had 35% off. Okay, I applied. If you remember, I asked it, how do you apply the link, the discount link to the URL? So once I'd applied the discount link to the URL, I hadn't told anybody it had a 35% discount. But when they clicked through and they suddenly saw the price drop by 35%, that was an immediate cue for them to buy. So you don't have to do the hard sell. You never have to do the hard. If you get your audience right, you never have to do the hard sell.
Okay, that's fascinating. So you sent the initial email to just kind of gauge interest. Yeah. They clicked a link, automatically segmented. That's why I like using.
That's how I would have done it. I would have sent an email, a pre-email, but because I didn't have the links until the day before Black Friday, whatever, I literally just said, look, this is what I'm doing. I highly recommend this product. It's a game changer. And if you remember, in the email referenced ARM, which is Autoresponder Madness, which is a product by a guy called Andre Chaperon, which is the best email marketing product of all time. So people would know when I said that Create was my second favorite program. They knew that it was a really high standard because I put it just behind ARM, which is absolutely brilliant. So they knew the standard of the product straight away. So honestly, it was an easy sell.
Mark,
so the first step is to get your list segmented enough where they're more likely to listen to you and buy from you. But then the second step is to actually craft that email, write it in such a way that it resonates with the people that it's going to, and you're going to entice that clip.
Yeah. If you get your emails, do not have to be about the product. I could have written about anything in that email. The first 2/3 of the email can be about anything you want. Then you do a transition, which can be one line, one paragraph about why or how the first part of the email relates to the product that you're offering. Okay, so I could have talked about building up my first product, or how I struggled for 14 months. So when I first started, I literally struggled for 14 months. I was still doing a huge amount of $10 a day online after 14 months. But after 14 months and 1 week, I was doing $4,000 a month, $4,000 a month, simply because all the hard work I put in had kicked in. So I could have talked about that. And then I could have said something like, but if you want to really shortcut this process, check out this product. It's really great. It will shortcut your process of making a business, building a business on Twitter, which is the future.
This is
Yeah, that's something that the best affiliate marketers or really email marketers do. It's not the hard sell. Ramit Sethi does this very well. It's more of a story, and they lead you down this path. You're keeping the reader engaged. You get them, involved or emotionally wrapped up in a problem, and then boom, you hit them with the solution, which happens to be the course or the ebook or whatever it is you're selling.
One of the reasons I'm really, really going all in on Twitter is I can see that I've got a library of over 500 emails that I've sent, right? And some of them are really, really good. Now I can see with Twitter, I can take that email and repurpose it into a thread.
Yes.
Yeah. And at the end of the thread, I can just have an offer. So it will do exactly the same thing as the email done. It will take people on a journey from the subject line down through the email until the offer.
Mark, can you send me the name of that course that you really love? I want to check that out.
Yeah.
I want to scope it out and maybe even try to get that person on masterclass if we can. I'll reach out to him.
Yeah, well, I can reach out to him. He's my ex-golf partner.
Oh yeah, let's have him come on here and we can have him contact me and we'll set something up.
Yeah, I will tell you now. I'm doubtfully he will, but I will ask him. He is. Yeah, he's at the top. He's at the top of the tree.
He's at the top of the tree. Okay, well we'll have to get bigger. Okay,
and he's very shy.
Oh, he's shy too. Okay, that's cool. Hey, I get it. Which is,
I will have a word with him.
Okay, so I wanted to touch on one thing. I made a big deal about this in Create 24/7. I think it's my 5th module. It's dedicated completely towards building networking groups. And I cannot stress this enough. I think it's awesome. And Masterclass is going to continue to grow. But I think it's really important that people actually form their own groups. In a way, it's almost like a form of a tight email list, really, like a Facebook group or a Telegram group or whatever. So I talk a lot about it in Create 24/7 because it's really cool to establish relationships through this. In fact, while I'm talking to you, there's people messaging me talking about how they like that you have like some mighty network, a real community, and you got all this banter going on. And it's all about the journey. It's all about like getting a whole group of people and going on like this journey together, and it just feels so good, and you're making friends, and that's kind of like the vibe I try to get and create. But it's also important for people too, as they grow, to build their own networks and communities and kind of like have networks within networks. I don't know. I feel like that's one of my biggest takeaways from this is that you have all these really great relationships because you've built networks.
The thing is, when you have a network, so for example, I can see 3 of my guys in here now. I can tell you exactly what every one of them does, what all their specialities are. I could tell you if you want to interview them, what to interview them about, because everyone's got a different skill set, and when you know what other people's skill sets are, you can relate to them and you can help them.
Yeah.
If you I gotta go back. If you're just tweeting buy my stuff all the time or sending emails saying buy my stuff, you're not gonna do that.
Mark, do you reach out to each individual and like try to get some conversation going with them at some point?
Well, I mean, the 3 guys on here, I chat to them quite often. 2 of them I chat to virtually. I've already chatted to this week. They're on my phone messages and on Messenger.
Yeah.
They annoy me all the time, but I don't mind.
Yeah, yeah, right. Because that's what it's about, you know?
Yeah.
Like at first, like when I was first started doing this, I was like, oh man, like talking to all these people every day. But now I just like wake up and like I get a lot of messages from people and it's cool. It's just like, hey, how you doing? Especially when it's more like at a conversational level. Especially like I enjoyed it over Thanksgiving and the holidays that we have so many people were sharing with me like direct messages with what they were doing, which I thought was just absolutely amazing. Like people were sending me pictures. Curtis, I know had a had a baby, which is really cool. I see him here, and and it's just like I talk to a lot of these guys through direct messages, and um, it's really cool to know people at a personal level. It's a different relationship. So I want to ask you before I open this up. So if anybody's listening, we got a lot of people listening here. If you want to send me a direct message, go ahead and I'll ask Mark, or you can hop on stage with us. Mark, what's the biggest mistake you see on Money Twitter right now? Like, I'm sure you're scoping out the scene. What's like the biggest heads up to? Like, we have a lot of different types of accounts in here. What do you think people are making the biggest mistake you see?
Because let's say not building a list. Okay, not building an email list. I mean, that has to be the first one. Um, but
Yeah,
they buy this, buy this, buy this. One thing I've noticed that there's guys tweeting out. So they'll tweet out, buy this product today. Next tomorrow they're tweeting out, oh, buy this product, it's great. But the products do the same thing. Okay, so for example, I promote your products because as far as I'm concerned, they're the best I've come across, right?
I
Um,
agree.
I could not, if in all honesty, I could not go to my group next week and promote something else that does the same thing. Okay, so you pick
Yeah.
one product that does one job and you promote that. You don't jump around between whoever's going to give you the best affiliate deal. Stick to one thing and you'll be fine. That's a huge mistake, because how can somebody trust somebody who this week says this product's the best and the next week says that product's the best?
Yeah, they're not building trust, right? Because so much about sales is about being authentic. And
Yeah,
truly, my friend the giver like is all about that as well. It's like I believe in this product, that's the one I'm going to sell. And I get a lot of people who just this is what blows my the worst, because I can tell who's making sales, right? Are the worst sales are by far people who just have some link tree up, and it's like
yeah.
20 different links, and I'll go see my course on there and it's listed with like 6 other Twitter growth courses. It's like you're not really earning anybody's business. You're just spamming links, and it's like it's just the wrong mentality that you need to have. It's just, it blows my mind, man. It just blows my mind. Um, okay. So yeah, the biggest mistake people aren't making email lists. Somebody just sent me a message and they're asking you to tell the story. I don't know what this means. Sounds really interesting. The death by Oreo cookies. Am I reading that right? Death by Oreo
Yeah.
cookies.
Right. So
Tell me
I
about
was
that.
launching a product. I was launching a product about writing emails, and I said, um, uh, anybody, just give me a topic, and I'll show you how to write an email. Right. So someone said death by Oreo cookies, Oreo cupcakes. It was death by Oreo
Oreo
cupcakes.
cupcakes. Okay.
Yeah. So I had to write an email about that, and I literally within 15 minutes had an email up all about death by Oreo cupcakes. In fact, I'll send it to you afterwards so you can share it if you want.
So
But
what, you had to write a sales email convincing people to eat Oreos, but it would cause them death? Is
yeah,
that?
about write a sales email about Oreo cupcakes.
Oh, I want to see
Um,
this email. Yeah.
but the thing is, what I said earlier is you don't have to write about the product you're selling. So I wrote about growing up in England, where Oreos and Hershey bars were the stuff of myth and legend, and how disappointed I was when I finally tried Hershey. But Oreos delivered. It was just something like that. But it, people think too deeply about email. Your email is just a story. Just tell a story, and then link that story to um, whatever you're trying to sell.
This
That's
is
the best.
this is pretty brilliant. Like, This is something to think about. Is when you're writing these emails, not just have like, and I get carried away with this too. Sometimes it's like it's Black Friday, we're gonna make this push, like get it now, And I get it.
Yeah.
Like I think there's sometimes is a time and place to stress urgency, when you're doing these things. But I like your approach for telling stories through it, and it's just like soft selling, really. You're not going in for the kill right there. You're establishing a relationship and building trust with your audience. Yeah. All right. Steve, you got any other questions for Mark? If anybody has a question, you can raise your hand and we can get you on stage with Mark, or send it directly to me. Steve, you got any questions?
Just the email application or the email marketing provider that you said you used. What was the name of that?
Right. So at the moment, I am using ConvertKit.
Yeah.
Okay, so am I. Yeah.
Yeah, I in the past I've used ActiveCampaign. Now, ActiveCampaign does a hell of a lot more than ConvertKit, but sometimes you don't need everything. So ConvertKit does everything you need, and it hooks into Gumroad, which is perfect.
Yeah, I mean, Active Campaign is great if you're running this big corporation, need lots of features. But man, if you're a Twitter person or a blogger, ConvertKit is like it's the sweet spot. It makes everything so darn easy.
Okay, Mark, I got a question for you. Just came in. What is the number one? So a lot of us in Masterclass, I would say like 50-50 have an email list. A lot of people here are just starting their journey. So what would you give? What is the one piece of advice you would give to someone who's looking to start an email list? They're on Twitter. They've got something like 1 to 2,000 followers, and they don't have any email list. So how can they get the ball rolling, man?
This is exactly what I've done. Now, generally speaking, I had a blog in the past, and on the blog, I pick up 1 or 2 subscribers a day. So when I came to Twitter, I took one of my reports and I put it in Gumroad. Okay, and I put that link at the top of my profile. And the other day I had 5 people sign up for it. I have 3 people so far today sign up for it. Just do that. Just build a list, have an onboarding sequence, tell people what to expect from you, and that's it. The one tip I will give, and this is my secret tip I've never given before, and it works for Twitter when you're doing tweets as well. There's a thing called 55-word stories, where you write the story in 55 words that should have a beginning, a middle, and an end. If you're ever stuck for what to write in an email, write a couple of 55-word stories, and your creative juices will be flowing like a fire hose.
So it's basically a story with only 55 words?
I'll send you a copy of one of mine as well.
Yeah, I'm curious
you can
now.
write about anything, but you must use only 55 words, no more, no less, and it must have a beginning, a middle, and an end.
So the reason is because people aren't going to read the whole email through, or is
no? It just gets your creative juices flowing.
Oh, okay. So it's like it's like a constraint that you're putting on yourself to give yourself.
Yes,
Yeah.
If you can write a full story in 55 words, right? You've got to focus on the creative side of things to do that. When you finish that, you suddenly find that writing a tweet is dead easy, or writing an email is dead easy.
I like this. I like this very much. A lot of people are sending me messages right now saying how much they appreciate the work that you do. If anybody else has a question, let me know. I like that about the email lists. Do you recommend doing some kind of lead magnet to entice people to sign up for lists? Do you think that that's valuable?
So I just give away the free report in Gumroad at the moment. That's it. I actually wrote another one today. I actually put a tweet out about this. It takes about 40 minutes to write a decent lead magnet if you've got a template. So make yourself a template. The style I like to do is 1 page. Then I've got a sort of an image page, but that's the tip or the headline for the next section. So do 4 or 5 of them. You've got five written pages and 5 images, big images. That's your template. Write it out, something that got lots of information, and then just put it on Gumroad. That's your lead magnet. I haven't even promoted it yet, and I'm picking up people subscribing through that profile. So easy.
Okay,
Too
so
easy.
I've got two questions for you. Okay, the first one, and these are both good questions. The first one is, what is the ratio of like value story emails versus promotion emails that you recommend? Do you recommend doing like a value promo like once every 3 months,
Oh,
or go ahead, tell us.
uh, email your list. Try to email your list at least once or twice a week. Okay. If you don't email enough, you'll lose people. Okay. They won't remember you. They'll start looking at other people's emails. I've always found that if I email daily, if I do a sequence of 10 days in a row, my open rate goes up. If I skip 10 days, my open rate goes down.
So you
Okay.
you suggest once a week? Is that what you're saying?
A minimum of once a week, ideally twice a week. There's nothing wrong with, if you have stuff to say, there's nothing wrong with emailing daily.
Yeah.
Okay. Don't make every email an offer. Okay. So if
Yes.
you're going to do an offer, build up to it with 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 emails. Okay. You're never selling the product. I wasn't selling Create 24/7. Okay. I was selling the fact that you can go into Twitter and you can build a business in Twitter, and this is how you do it. This product will really help you. It wasn't it wasn't about your product. It was about the results that your product gave.
Right. Yes. 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 I just got another question in here. They want to know how you built the list. I know we touched on that before, but can
Yeah.
you like bring us back to that part? I don't want to skip over that. Just make it real clear. Like,
Right.
how did you get this list going?
So if you have a blog, stick a sign up form on your blog for a free report. If you have a Twitter account, put a link in the Twitter account and your profile for your free report. If you have a YouTube account, put a link in every single YouTube video for your free report. Um, if you're on Facebook, post once a week. Oh, don't forget my free report. That's all you have to do. Just tell people your free report's there. Don't try and sell it, or just say, this is my free report. I've done one. The one I wrote today is called Hustle and Tweet. Okay, a framework for yeah, a framework for making money online or something like that. I can't remember exactly. But yeah, so I will just put that out. I will swap out the one I've got in my profile this week and put that one in.
What do you
One thing that
go
I
ahead?
found works for me is responding to some of your popular tweets, like even auto responding through
Yeah.
Hype Fury or maybe Tweet Hunter, with a plug to your email list or your free giveaway. I probably pick up 1,000 a month doing that. It's a very effective, highly converted way to get people on your email list as well.
Yeah, exactly. I've seen people do that. I've seen that. I'm using Tweet Hunter at the moment. I just can't believe how good that is.
It's good.
Suddenly, my tweets that were getting 3 or 4 likes because I post them once a day are now getting 10, 12 likes because I keep on retweeting them. Or I don't retweet them; it retweets them for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I saw when I first came across Twitter, I started looking at what people were doing, and I saw some posts where someone said, "Wow, I've got 700 followers today and 350 subscribers." Now, if you've been in the internet marketing niche on Facebook, those figures will make you faint. Right? That is $1,000 a day ad budget on Facebook, without a doubt. I would have to spend $1,000 a day getting those figures. Right? So
Yeah.
you come across to Twitter and you're seeing people get these figures after they've built their account. It's no comparison.
Somebody says they just checked and they said that they got their first email from you back in 2011. So you must be at this for a long time.
Yeah, quite a long time.
You've got any suggestions for like to get open rates up with like having like a good headline for an email? Do you have any like actionable tips to get open rates higher?
Everybody will tell you that having the subject line is what gets an open rate.
Yeah.
That's what everyone will tell you. It's not. It's one of the things that will get you open. It's what you've emailed. It's like the email that I
context.
sent didn't sell create 24/7. Okay, the 10 emails I've sent beforehand or the 100 emails I've sent beforehand sold that. Because email is sort of cumulative. So it's not what you send now that actually makes a sale. It's what you've sent in the past and how you've treated your audience in the past. That's what makes the sales. But yeah, for a new audience, to get your emails open, you need a good subject line. So, or if you get the opportunity, split test subject lines so you learn what works. So on ConvertKit, it's easy. You can stick 2 subject lines in there. It will tell you which one performed best. But that will get you open on a new list. On a established list, I've sent out emails with no subject lines, and they've got a similar open rate to normal.
People are just so accustomed to opening them that you can just send it out no subject and it still gets open. That's pretty awesome.
Honestly, you have conquered email marketing, where let's say you send an email every Wednesday or every day of the week at 1:00 every day of the week, and you forget one day. I woke up one morning to 10 emails. Are you okay? What's happened? Why didn't you email me yesterday? So then at that point, you know that you've mastered your audience and your email marketing, because people actually cared to open them.
In your emails, do you suggest like adding a question at the end of it to kind of get people to reply back to you? Do you do that kind of thing? Do you like communicate through the emails?
Not really, unless I have a genuine question I want to know. What do you think of this report? What would you like me to? What product would you like me to create next? But not if there's no reason for doing it, don't do it.
Okay, so this is a good question. I just got this one, Mark. I want to ask you this. Somebody's asking, what do I email about if I don't know what to email about? And I think that there's a lot of people actually thinking this because they're just Twitter accounts. I'm not saying just Twitter accounts. I don't mean that. Okay. But they're kind of like those accounts that have like a few thousand followers. They've never gotten an email list. And they're thinking like, what do I write about in my emails? What can you tell those guys?
Right. So what was your best performing tweet last week? Take that and expand on that. Write about that. Mm-hmm. Okay. Get to the heart of that tweet. When you were writing that tweet, what were you trying to achieve? Now just try and do the exact same thing in email.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. It's kind of like that infinite wheel of content thing. It's just like,
yeah, exactly.
You take something that's already performed and been validated by your audience. And Mark, I think people just overthink content creation. They really do. It's like, so think about your most viral tweet, and then maybe you can tell the story behind it, right? So let's say that you had something about, hustling on a Friday night and how you should, do this and it went viral or something like that. Well, maybe you can talk about how you started your first side business on the weekends or something, So yeah, okay, somebody just messaged me. That's what I've been doing, expanding on successful tweets. It blew my mind when I realized it. Look, I'm going to tell you this. I've worked with some very successful bloggers that have blown up their Twitter accounts while on Twitter. You could probably figure out who I'm talking about just by doing it. And it's like so many bloggers come on to Twitter and they just drop links to their website. And I'm just like, no, what you need to do is just take the blog posts that you already have that have done extremely well, like repurpose them in the threads, or take the best tidbits and make them in the tweets. And you can constantly just be repurposing content, guys. And some of y'all make content creation so difficult in your mind. But once you have it already validated by one audience, it's going to be validated by another audience as well. So I think somebody just messaged me like nothing bad's going to happen from it. Like, it's all content, right? And what's the worst that can happen? Somebody hits unsubscribe because they didn't like your story, So
I love unsubscribes. I absolutely love unsubscribes because it saves me the hassle of getting them off. Getting people off the list. I will tell you this now. I had a friend who is he's now a top, not personal trainer. He sorts people's lives out for them. he does conferences. They pay him a lot of money, and he tells them what they need to hear. But he used to make. I'm trying to think. maybe $15,000 a month for his emails. He then, once a week, he made a point of telling people to get off his list if they didn't like what he was saying. And that took him to $1 million a year.
That's going to be my next email because I'm going to start a whole new email list. And it's going to be like, if you don't like my stuff, or be prepared to hit unsubscribe. And I'll have a direct call to action to the unsubscribe button. That would be pretty awesome.
Just point people to where the unsubscribe button is. Look, if you don't like the messages you're getting and you're not feeling that I'm serving you properly, please leave my list.
I did that with Twitter. Yeah.
Feelings.
If you think this is right, hit the unfollow button. I've done that before. Somebody's messaging me about, they're asking me if it's beneficial, you think, to have a Telegram group as opposed to an email list. And this is me. I think Telegram is a lot similar to like a Facebook group, right? I think it's the way that you have it set it up, it can be just as interactive. I think Telegram is excellent, but my point is, why not have both, right? I think that some people are like, well, I'm just going to do a Telegram group and not do an email list. That's great and all, but I think you're going to attract a lot of freebies onto a Telegram group, honestly. There's nothing wrong with it, and I think it's cool because you can just casually send out things, and I like the voice messages that you can do. I think that's really cool. But why not do both? Mark, what's your take? Do you have any opinions on Telegram?
Yeah, I've got. I'm on Jake Molina's group, and I've got some of his. I've got his newsletter, and with that came an invite to a Telegram group. I went, well, hang on, do I have to download some more software just to? I can't be bothered because I'm not on. I'm not Telegram. I'm not on Telegram, so I just didn't bother joining it. The thing with emails, right? You have an email list. You own that list. If ConvertKit closes down tomorrow, I have still got a list of all my subscribers that I can import to any other email service provider. Okay. If Facebook closes down tomorrow, I've lost all my followers on Facebook. I assume if Telegram closes down, you've lost all your followers on Telegram. If Discord closes down, you've lost all your followers on Discord. If Twitter closes down, you've lost everything. But if you have a list, you have a way out. We were about 10 years ago, we got caught in a wildfire and the house got scorched and I lost 2 cars, and we were sat at the bottom of the hill where we live. On my phone, I wrote an email and sent it out to my list, made an offer for $9.11 for a couple of my products in a bundle. Said, look, the shit has hit the fan. Okay, we're sat here with literally the clothes are in. If you'd like to get one of these products, I'd really appreciate it, and send out an email. Could I have done that on somewhere else? I don't know, but it was. Email lists are lifelines.
Yeah, I feel like the Telegram groups are like a lower level. Somebody's sending me a message. This is a good question. This one's to me. It's a question about if you can get an email list and only segment it out to your Twitter followers. Like, for instance, send an email on your email and like, no. As of right now, there's no way to do that. I'm, in fact, about to start an email list on Twitter through Twitter. And as of right now, there's no option to do that. I think that's a really great option that Twitter devs...
You can certainly set that up, though. That's possible to set up. You just have to take a couple extra steps, but yeah, it's possible.
Yeah, it's possible. It would be really cool if it was done automatically. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I did it on Twitter, segmented. I tell you what, though, I think Gumroad is incredible for emails. And in fact, while I've been on this, just doing this interview, I've sold $500 worth of Create just because of a great offer that Eddie helped put together. And Gumroad is really good, guys. Like, I sent out an email an hour ago about just to the people who have not purchased Create 24/7. And it just went, like, if you're one of them, you've got that email. And it's really good because you can like send an email to people who have bought one product but haven't bought another. And guys, it's just I think Gumroad is just really good. You can put together a lead magnet really easy, collect emails through there, and then when you launch a product, or perhaps as Mark was saying, like you could build a wait list for a bigger product that you have coming out later on, which is something I might be doing in the future. And then you can segment directly to that audience. I'm a huge proponent of doing. And the cool thing about the Gumroad is that it's the email portion of it is free. Like, you know, I mean, you can have thousands and thousands and thousands of warm buyers that you can email as many times as you want. I don't know, like I'm a big fan of Gumroad because I think it's just so easy. It's not an aesthetically pleasing email, which is, you know, I don't know, but it's just so simple to segment and directly craft offers to certain audiences and set up workflows after when somebody purchases a product. Um,
The only thing I will say about Gumroad email, and it's actually quite a big thing,
okay, go ahead.
I'm not at this moment in time. I'm not convinced their deliverability stats are as good as they should be.
And what do you mean? Like
Be,
there's something about the way that it delivers that hurts
yeah,
open
because
rates?
and I'll tell you why. Because I've got
Interesting.
this. It's early days yet, but I'll keep my eye on it. I've got this free report that people come in, they sign up for, and the first email goes from Gumroad. Okay, and that's got about a 40% open rate.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I am used to the first email having a 79, 85% open rate, around about there. So the second emails that I've got go from ConvertKit because ConvertKit hooks into Gumroad, integrates perfectly with it. So I need to go and check the open rates of that second email. So if the open rate of the second email is higher, it means there's a problem with Gumroad's deliverability.
That's interesting.
Did that make sense?
No, that
And I think you have to buy a product first. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but
Yeah.
if you don't have a product but want to build an email list, then there's no way to use Gumroad for that because it's built around the concept of buying a product. Even if it's a
That's
free
true.
product, you still have to get something in order
But
to
that's the same
capture
with
that email address.
any lead magnet. You have to that people have to sign up for a lead magnet. They have to sign up for your list. So signing up for a free product is actually better than saying probably join my newsletter.
Yeah, I agree with that too. It's kind of like they have to
I've
take
had a very different experience with that.
they have to take a different yeah, I can look at my numbers on that as well. But I think that when somebody has to like take an extra step and the more barriers you have, the warmer the person is when they actually get onto that. Does that make any sense? I know that's kind of counterintuitive, but like I think this is what I'm gonna start probably a newsletter and just make it really easy to subscribe and do one of those kinds of things just to amass a gazillion emails because I can, and then at the same time try to keep like things segmented as well. This is a really fascinating conversation, Mark. I'm really interested to see how your Twitter account grows. If anybody has any other questions, let me know. We can have you up on stage with us. This is really great, really interesting conversations. Really good actionable tips for people who are starting out and who want to get into selling. I like that. I like how authentic you are and how you focus more on making connections with your audience. I
mean, it's simple that if you make a connection with someone, you're gonna have more chance of making a sale, and you're gonna make the right sale, rather than just saying buy this, buy this, buy this, and somebody buying something and not being interested in it. You can say, get to know the person, say actually this product here is ideal for you, and
I agree.
they're more likely then to buy other products later on. They'll join your coaching programs or they'll buy the higher level products rather than their first experience being, oh, I bought this $7 product and it's rubbish.
Yes,
No,
everything, like even if you launch a free lead magnet, it needs to be stellar, right? You want everything associated with your brand to be stellar.
One thing I would look at, and it's on my list of things to test, because I'm a mad professor, I test everything,
Yeah.
is rather than have a free lead magnet, go to Gumroad and put something on there for $1.99.
Mm-hmm.
So the people you're getting on your list are buyers. They have the means of buying. That's the one thing with Twitter I'm not 100% convinced about, is that the quality of all the leads are going to be really good. But if they've got to spend at least $1.99 or even 99 cents, it doesn't matter. The fact they have to do that extra step, take a credit card out, log into their PayPal account, it means they actually do have the means of buying, and they are interested in buying stuff in the future.
Right. I actually did that with my first lead magnet. I got like a few hundred like on the first day, and then I actually started charging after it at that point. I did it just to get a few off the bat, just to get a list established, and then once it actually was established, I started charging for it. I think that is really great advice. I'm going to tell you this. Look, I'm just going to say it bluntly. As a guy who's been on this Twitter for a while, there's a lot of people who just want free stuff on Twitter, and
Yeah.
they're just out to nickel and dime. You do not want them as followers. You don't really want them as customers. Twitter is full of them because it's free. It's free to start an account. It's free to do all of this stuff. So you're going to attract a lot of people who are just there that are going to act like they just deserve stuff from you for free and that your time is worth $0. Those are people that you don't want to attract. And you don't even want to tweet towards that audience. When you have a customer avatar, you don't want those people around. So I think you're right on that, Mark. A good idea is to actually even start a product that you charge a couple dollars for and just get some people on there who actually are willing to make a commitment and hand a little bit of money over.
Yeah. I mean, I would even go as far as, I mean, I've got some old products that I sold for $500, $497, $67, $97, $147, you name it, I've sold it.
Yeah.
I would be more than happy to put something like that out on Gumroad for $2, because it's you're investing in your relationship with your customers.
I agree. I agree. I think it's important to, actually build those kinds of things. And I think Charles Miller, Writing to Riches, just put out a lead magnet, and he's charging $2 for it just to be on his list, which I think he's right on about that. And I've seen a lot of guys build these lists with thousands and thousands of freebies, and then they can't sell them anything. Um, or like they just get a few, they get a really low rate of conversion. And yeah, I have seen that as well. That's why I think it's better to have sometimes just a low cost product, so you actually start getting people who are interested in things first, and then you can like kind of warm them into other more expensive products in the future. This is great, man. I really appreciate you taking time with me, Mark. Where are you at? Are you in Spain right now, just chilling on the beach?
Yeah, yeah, I live in southern Spain. When I look out on my balcony, I can see North Africa. That's how south we are.
I'm so jealous, my man. I'm so jealous. I mean, hey, I don't have a bad, but I'm out in Texas. I love the beach. I absolutely envy that you're at the beach, man, just having a good time. And that's the beauty about starting a digital business, an online business, is that you can run it from anywhere in the world. All right, so I want to end this, guys, unless anybody has a question, but I want to end this on one piece of advice to you that you have to someone who is starting out. They're probably in it. They've been doing this for like 3 months. What is your one piece of advice to somebody who's starting out as an entrepreneur and a digital entrepreneur? What would you tell them?
Be yourself, and right, put yourself in your customer's shoes. Okay, if you are a customer, what would you like to receive in emails from this person? What would you like them to be tweeting? What would you like to be reading as tweets? Right, that's where to start. What would you like to receive? So if you'd like to receive emails that say buy this, buy this, buy this, buy this, one after the other, well, we'll do that then, because that will be your audience. But if you're the type of person who doesn't want offer after offer after offer, but wants information and education and infotainment, my favorite term, infotainment, then do that, because you will get people who think like you as your audience.
I agree. I think, and when you're even designing a product or thinking about what products to create, you should always think about it from your audience perspective, or like even from what you need. Like one of the reasons why I came up with 101 Ways was like, I was like, I want to have just a simple resource where I can flip to certain templates and just write tweets based off of them. So yeah, always be putting yourself in that customer's perspective, and that's just really great stuff, man. I appreciate you taking time with us, Mark. Enjoy the rest of your day. Go and sell some more Create. No, I'm just kidding.
I already sold 2 today, or 1 today.
Yeah, man, I know. Yeah.
Don't get greedy.
No, I'm just kidding around. But y'all have a good one. So go follow Mark. Mark, what is your Twitter handle?
Simple is profit.
Simple is profit. Simple is profit.
Simple is profit.
Okay, very good. And sign up for his email list so y'all can read his emails, and so that how you can learn about how you can have death by Oreo cookies. I want to see that. I want to send that out to.
I will try and find that one and dig it out and send it to you.
I'm going to put this in the Gumroad library. Our next guest is going to be Medium's biggest blogger. Tim Denning is going to be joining us for our next one, guys. Absolutely, just can't wait to have Tim on. If you're ever interested in learning how to write blogs for money, six-figure blogging, Tim Denning is going to join us with our next one. Mark, I'd love to have you on another time as we document your journey. Maybe come on in like 6 months, and maybe you can talk to us about what you're doing, because I love hearing about what you're doing, man. And so we'll be doing that as well. And we're also going to be starting up our cohort in about a month. So we'll be opening the doors on that soon. Hopefully a lot of you can join us for our 30-day cohort. And we'll be sending out information for that as well. But I appreciate you taking time with us.
By email, I hope.
By email, yeah. You know what? Now you have me wanting to start a waiting list for it by email. And that's something I'm gonna do. I need to get my email game up. Like, I think I write decent emails, but I like your whole perspective on telling stories and being there with the people. I just think it's just so cool, because authenticity is the key to selling, in my opinion. Just being, with your audience. And it's just something for everybody in here to take about. It's not about you, okay? It's not about you. It's about them. And I just cannot.
Yeah, if this conversation doesn't convince you to start an email list and start selling, I honestly don't know what will.
Yeah, right. And to think about it from the customer's perspective, because the way that I look at it, guys, is that, and I'll just finish up on this, is that the people who are constantly sell hard, constantly on the timeline, I feel like they're chasing pennies on the street. You know what I mean? They're picking up pennies on the floor. Like, yeah, you'll make a couple sales that day, which is cool, but they're not, is what Mark said earlier, they're not going to have that $10,000 launch, right? They're not going to have that because they haven't really built those real relationships with people. Mark, you know what you should do, man? When your account gets bigger, you should do some Twitter Spaces. You should hop in with us and do some Twitter Spaces. They're really awesome. And
yes, I saw those. Yeah, there's lots of stuff I can see coming up on Twitter that's really going to change things, I think.
Mark, yeah, like I call it, and me and Eddie, we do our Spaces every Monday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern. In 2022, I'm telling you right now, is going to be the year of Twitter monetization. And there's a reason why they're switching CEOs. There is going to be they're already tinkering with a lot of stuff behind scenes. But I'm going to tell you, there are going to be so many options for people to monetize their accounts directly from Twitter, which is just going to be so really cool. It's going to be game changing, guys. So start building those audiences now, building those email lists now, and building real connections with your audience as well. Thank you so much, Mark. We'll have you back on and be
pleasure.
Absolutely. Be on the lookout for that interview with Tim Denning. We'll have one it might be in a few weeks. He might either be next, or we may even have somebody else come on. And we'll be having a lot of course updates for Create, and we'll be starting our cohort in opening the doors for it in a couple weeks. Thank you, Mark. Enjoy the rest of your day. Steve, thanks for joining us today, my man. And thank you for joining us, Mark. Appreciate it.
No problem. Thanks, guys. Bye.
See you guys later.
You got it, guys. Have a good one.
Enjoy the rest of your day, guys.